Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. I hope you've been really well. In today's reading, we are looking into how the person on your mind thinks you feel about them, and we'll be getting tarot, oracle cards, and maybe channeled messages. I haven't figured that out yet, so we'll see. One thing I want to mention is that this will be their subjective perspective on how you feel, so this doesn't have to line up with how you actually feel, or it may resonate partially in terms of how you actually feel. So please keep that in mind. And with that said, I will leave you to focus on which deck calls to you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome. I don't know why it looks so yellow today. I think it's the sun is like being weird, but anyway, the sun could be significant since that immediately came up. So Leo energy could be significant, but it doesn't have to be. And on that note, we will start with these oracle cards and we'll clarify with tarot and a bunch of other stuff. I haven't really planned this, so we'll just see how it goes. The first card we have is Part of Fortune Increase. I always get Taurus energy from this card for some reason, so that could be significant as well. We have the 8th house, so Scorpio energy could be significant. We have the 6th house, Virgo energy could be significant, but again, none of these energies have to be significant at all. We have the Firefly, we have Consciousness, and we have Ghost. I heard a lot of things in this relationship are in a gray area, which kind of is giving me a little bit of a limbo energy. You could be in no contact, or you could be in a situation where you don't exactly know what kind of situation you're in. You could just be, if you are in contact, you could just be seeing this person and you could be feeling a very deep connection to them, but maybe you haven't really talked about like whether you're officially together or whether you're seeing other people. It doesn't have to be that at all. It can also be, and the main scenario that I'm getting for this pile is that this is someone you may have had a very intense connection with, but for whatever reason, you can't be with them right now. It doesn't feel like a matter of the two of you not getting along. It more so feels like it was other circumstances. And this can include something like a work obligation. This can include one of you being in a relationship, but if that's the case, you would know. So don't be alarmed, please. This could be one of you moving somewhere else. It could also be that one or both of you had some healing to do, that you may have been very triggered by this connection, so you decided to pull apart, or someone walked away from this connection. Regardless of the situation, this person feels that you are loyal to them. Not in the sense of you will never have feelings for anyone else, but there seems to be a mature understanding between the two of you that if you ever really need each other, then it's okay to kind of breach this no contact thing. And I'm kind of going off on the no contact scenario, but feel free to just interpret what I'm saying according to your situation as well. It's just easier for me to follow one specific scenario rather than keep going back and forth. But I will try to speak about both as things come through. And I mean, it could also be that you just met this person and they already feel like they can trust you. There is a very deep bond here, especially with the Consciousness and the Ghost cards. I feel like regardless of whether you are physically in this person's life or not, they feel a very deep connection to you. It's a very stable energy in that sense. Your energetic presence always seems to be there, regardless of whether your physical presence is there or not. This could be someone that you feel you know from a past life. You could kind of get that feeling from them, and I think they definitely get that feeling from you, which is why I'm bringing it up. There is a very caring energy here as well. They feel that you have deeply cared for them, and possibly a part of you still does and always will. But I think this is due to a mutual understanding that they may have with you, in the sense that this is how they feel about you too. So they know that it's a matched energy in that sense. With the Firefly, there is guide energy, mentor energy. They feel like you've learned a lot from the connection that the two of you share. Maybe you've discussed these already, or maybe they've seen some kind of growth in you that they recognize happened either directly or indirectly as a result of what happened between the two of you. Because the connection here is so intimate, so vulnerable. Vulnerable as in not the connection, the bond itself, but it feels like you've been very vulnerable with each other. There's a lot of appreciation that this person feels goes both ways. But there's also an energy of you possibly having moved on. Not necessarily with someone else, but like you've accepted the past for what it is. And you're keeping it as a treasured, valued memory. But you're not necessarily seeking to go back into the past. It feels like they think you're very emotionally mature. And I think they're very impressed by you as well. Maybe impressed with how you may have handled this situation. Even if you don't feel like you handled it really well, this person seems to think you kind of knew what you were doing. If there was a separation, or if you are kind of in a limbo with this person, they feel that you're doing really well in dealing with it. So how they think you feel about them would be that you are accepting of what's happening right now. You may not like it, but it feels like you are in an energy of acceptance. You may have had a talk with this person about how much you value each other and each other's support and encouragement. They feel like you're a very giving person, very generous, and that you feel this way about them as well, in the sense that you would still be generous, still be giving to them. But it doesn't feel like this is someone who would take advantage of this. It's more like they have this feeling that you would, just because of the kind of person that you are. Very nurturing, very giving, very big heart, very trustworthy, very loyal. But it also feels like you have certain boundaries with this person right now. And they seem to be aware of that as well, that you may, although you might feel very connected to them, that there is some kind of gap between the two of you. I want to get into the tarot. There seems to be a magnetic pull between the two of you that this person thinks is a mutual feeling. Maybe this isn't how you actually feel about them, but we are looking into their subjective opinion about where you're at. We have the Empress, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. It feels like they perceive you to be in a place where you're giving love to yourself before anyone else, where you're empowering yourself, where you're focused on your own independent individual journey on your own path. But the fact that you're giving love to yourself, pouring love into yourself right now, doesn't mean that you stop caring about other people. And they definitely feel like you have they feel like they're still in your heart. And for some of you, maybe this is a false assumption on their end. But for most of you, I feel like this energy flows both ways, that you are in their heart and they are in yours, regardless of what the current circumstances might be. We have the Page of Wands in, oh wow. And we have the Emperor. They know the two of you match really well, and they know you know that. But for whatever reason, it feels like this connection just can't come together. They know you didn't want things to end this way between the two of you. They feel that the current situation isn't necessarily what you want, but it is something that you accept. Look at these things keeping the Emperor and the Empress apart. And it's telling me, it's kind of giving me three different scenarios. One has to, I mean, it could also be a mix of all of these. One has to do with just pursuing different goals right now, and the situation can't come together because of this. Another is that there might be a third party situation between the two of you. So this person, or you, one or both of you, can't pay attention or give energy into this connection because their energy is occupied by another connection, or third party doesn't even always have to be an actual person. So I don't know why I even separated these. This is kind of the same energy, essentially. It's just a circumstance coming between the two of you in this connection. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, this for me is about healing your own relationship with your own self. So maybe both of you had to do this, and maybe both of you are still working on this. And this person feels that there is a mutual understanding that this wasn't your fault and it wasn't their fault. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Five of Wands. They feel that you have a lot of people that are into you that you don't even seem to be giving attention to, really, or this person feels that you shouldn't be giving them attention because they're not on your level. But then again, it also doesn't feel like they would actually say anything to you and be like, these people suck. Because they seem to have an understanding that your life right now is not their business because of whatever circumstances you might be in. I'm just going to quickly check if everything is in frame, and yes. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Chariot. I heard pit stop for some reason. I don't really watch Formula One, so it's not because of that. I don't really have any of that in my head. We have Cancer, Aries. I felt like saying Virgo, but this is not Virgo. It's Libra and Taurus. For some of you, this person could be going through a breakup with someone else or a separation, but I think if that's the case, this was already the obstacle between the two of you. Or this is someone you know about, if that's the case. Or they could be going through another big life change, something stable falling apart. They seem to feel like you don't know much about what they are doing right now. Maybe you've blocked them, or maybe you don't like pay attention to their social media. Maybe maybe you've told them you don't want to know what they're doing. With the World in reverse here, there seems to be a mutual understanding that this situation isn't exactly over, but it doesn't feel like this is something that was talked about. It's more so maybe you both have the impression that the door is a little bit ajar. It's not fully closed and locked. Because there do seem to be boundaries between the two of you. But then again, I'm drawn to how we have the 9 of Wands here and not the 10. So there is that, you know, one wand that is missing. Essentially, like, it's not fully closed up. That's what I mean. That seems to be their perception. It's a little bit of an unfinished business energy. But unfinished business as in, I would love to make more memories with you, rather than I'm so mad at you, I'm gonna yell at you when I see you or something. They feel like, yeah, like you don't blame them. Like you have a very compassionate view of the situation. And that doesn't mean you're not allowed to get mad and be upset about it. I think this person also understands that if you have lashed out at them, or like you got mad at them, or you were crying, it is a natural part of your reaction, and that doesn't take away from the fact that you are still a compassionate human being, that you're still kind and generous. They feel like you might have the tendency to overthink at times, but this almost feels like a little bit more of a past energy, because they seem to see a lot of growth in you. I don't know how they know this. Or maybe a lot of time has passed, so they think that you don't actively think about them anymore, but if you were to cross paths, then that would be a whole different story. They also feel like you might not want to get too close to them right now for the time being. And again, this might be because of external circumstances or you choosing to focus on yourself. And they seem to have respect for that. This really doesn't feel like someone who would breach that mutual understanding and then come forward and force you to talk to them or something. They seem very respectful of your boundaries, and they think that you are very respectful of theirs. It's like you've proven how trustworthy you are. I'm gonna get some channeled messages, and then we will finish off your reading with advice. I am unsure of my feelings for you right now. I'm not being honest with myself. Please try to understand my perspective. Especially if you are in separation. I think this person is in a place where They're trying to match this energy I talked about, where they may not want to actively be focusing on this connection. And I don't think they're actually unsure of their feelings for you. I think they just find it easier to not label it in some way right now, possibly because of all of these circumstances that could be making things more complicated. And it feels like they don't want to complicate things right now. I'm jealous of the people around you. I'm focused on my success. I will come back. You are the only one for me, no one else but you. We have ego, and we have I need support. So I'm seeing again all the different variations of this situation. Someone being focused on their career, this one is kind of giving me someone being in another obligation, maybe another relationship, this column like especially. And then here we have the healing group. So anything that wants to come through from the little nook. I don't feel called to do this today. I try sometimes, but I feel like I'm outgrowing the trusty little freezer bag. Okay. Let's get you some advice. This doesn't have to necessarily relate to this situation itself, but it could relate to other situations you're in right now as well, because I'm using the personal affirmators and not the relationship one. Maybe we'll get into the relationship one as well. We'll see. Maybe we'll get one from each. That is way too many. Okay, I will just take the top one because this is like 20. Personal growth. As I move toward greater consciousness, I feel old thoughts and habits fall away. Like training wheels on a bike, they helped me get to where I am, but now that I can ride, I don't need those slow and crummy wheels, except when I'm making bike analogies. Yeah, personal growth seems to be a significant theme for you, regardless of what version of this situation you might be in. But for most of you, I do feel this is either no contact or very, very limited contact. Oof. Okay. I will take honesty, and I have a specific reason for taking that one specifically. Let's actually take all of them, but this one, I cut the deck in half, and this was the first thing that stuck out to me. That's why I felt more drawn to that one, but we'll take these other two as well. I don't want to discriminate. Honesty. This heralds a wonderful time of rooting yourself in complete and total honesty. It might seem scary to tell the truth all the time with everyone about everything, but when you practice radical honesty, you can stop hiding and start relaxing. The best part is, honesty from you inspires honesty from others. What results is a rootin' tootin' trust parade, and everyone's invited, except the bagpipe players, but you know they'll show up anyway. We have grace. I face disagreements with grace and flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. With grace, I'm able to, oh my god, my voice. I'm able to keep my cool, be my best self, and not resort to name calling, even when that crappy poo-poo face is being a douchey barf monster. And then we have tact. I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or a harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. If it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china, and I might actually be a bull. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. This doesn't mean that you can't express your, I mean, if you are in contact with this person, this is kind of giving me the energy that you should tell them how you truly feel about the situation, because they seem to feel like you're okay with it and maybe you're not. And my advice would be to just say it as it is, not in like a mean way, but just in a way where you get to express yourself honestly and openly, to express how you feel truly, rather than keep it in if you're not happy with the situation, or if you feel obliged to stay in this situation for whatever reason. I feel like it's important to have those honest conversations if you have the opportunity to. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into how the person on your mind thinks you feel about them, and I will just give you a reminder that this is their subjective opinion. That's what we're aiming for, so it might not be exactly how you feel. So yes, let's get into it. We have number 24, Pisces, I believe. And do you know what happened? When I shuffled these as well, the first card I got was Pisces again, and I shuffled it back in because I thought, we already have this. We get it. Thank you. So emphasis on Pisces. We have a Descendant, and we have Fire. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I also really felt called to say Scorpio right now, so maybe that is relevant as well, but doesn't have to be. We have the Butterfly. Butterflies always make me think of Scorpio because of the Death card in the tarot, and I didn't remember we had the Butterfly. We have Rejection, and we have Happiness. This is someone who's coming from a little bit of an insecure place. I will start by saying that. And you might be feeling a little bit hesitant in this situation as well, because it almost feels like this person feels that you mirror them a little bit. And I said this before I saw this little situation happening here. Look at these two people. You know, you just cut through here, and then besides that tree, you get a pretty similar image. And the hills are a little bit different, but we're not going to focus on the details. It feels like this person has certain insecurities, maybe about what they're able to bring into the situation, what they're able to bring onto the table, maybe about taking responsibility in this situation. Maybe this is someone you are seeing casually or you just met, but they're not sure if they are able to commit, if they're in a place where they're able to commit officially. That is just one possible scenario. It could also be someone you've known for a while who is just kind of acting a little bit hot and cold, a little bit flaky, but I think it really matches how they feel about themselves as well as this situation, because it seems like they don't really for certain know how you feel. So this feels like it's coming from a place of heavy assumptions and a lens of a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of, am I good enough for this person? And for some of you, this could be how you feel as well. And also how this person feels, but for others of you, it could be that this is how you feel, and another pile is how this person sees the situation. But anyway, this person hopes, I'm going to say hopes and not feels, because with this Pisces energy showing up twice, it's giving me heavy Seven of Cups energy and Hanged Man energy, which makes me feel like this person is more so assuming in their head and hoping and dreaming and daydreaming. They hope that you feel happy around them. They hope that you are very attracted to them, because this person is definitely very attracted to you. But there's almost this feeling that they don't feel good enough for this situation. And I think they're very afraid of rejection. With this rejection card coming up, even before I pulled this, I was feeling that hesitation, that worry. They might feel like you feel that they should do better to be on your level, and this doesn't have to be the actual truth. This could just be them looking at things from a lens of insecurity and not having enough confidence in themselves, maybe not having enough compassion or love for themselves. This feels more like a new situation for most of you, at least. It doesn't feel like a very established connection. Or maybe it is an established connection, but things kind of started becoming a little bit more rough lately. It feels like this person wants to impress you, but they feel like you're not very impressed by them. But at the same time, they're kind of giving me that energy of, I think I'm great, but I also think I'm the worst person on the planet. A lot of conflicting thoughts and feelings, and I think that is how they perceive this connection as well, and how you feel as well, where they might feel and hope that you're very attracted to them, that you think I don't know why physical attraction is coming through so strongly, but maybe this started as a friends with benefits, or maybe physical intimacy is a big part of this connection. Or maybe you've connected more on a physical level so far rather than intellectually or emotionally. But it essentially feels like this person cares about your opinion a lot. And that's why they keep hesitating about what that opinion actually is, because they want it to be good. They want it to be really good. They really, really want it to be good. But they're afraid that it is really, really bad, because I feel like on some level they don't accept themselves. So they feel like on some level you wouldn't accept them either if you truly knew them. So they might be showing some avoidant behaviors. They might be a little bit flaky, or they may just run a little bit if things become too intense, or they might be very, very, very back and forth. They have a flighty energy. It doesn't feel like it's stabilized yet, even though I don't think this is caused by their feelings towards you. I think it's pretty much caused by their feelings for themselves. But let's get into the tarot and see what else wants to come through. I just saw the High Priestess, and we have the Death card coming out. I just saw the High Priestess, and that makes me feel like this person, again, like they kind of don't know. They can't read you. So they're assuming and hoping. We have the Page of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Ace of Swords. They seem to feel like you want more from them, but they're not able to provide to that extent. Not because they wouldn't want to, I think, but because they don't feel like they're able to. And maybe they've already communicated this to you. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and we have the Devil. They may have a lot of repetitive thoughts in their head that are kind of making them hold back. And these repetitive thoughts, again, I think relate to self-worth and confidence and these kinds of themes. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the Page of Cups in reverse. They might feel that you perceive them as inadequate, and I think this is something that they need to heal. I just saw the Three of Swords in reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. For some of you, they feel that you think they're all talk and no substance. We have the Six of Swords. For some of you, they feel that you're at a crossroads and that they either step up now and give you more, or you will move forward. This doesn't have to be the case. You're free to do what you want, of course, and deal with this situation however you feel is best. But it feels like this person may have the tendency to blow things out of proportion, or like kind of immediately assume things without really having evidence for it. So keep in mind that this is where they might be coming from rather than how you may have acted towards them. Because I don't think you've outright said anything like you're not good enough or anything of that sort. I think you're actually very good to this person. It just feels like they don't feel like they're enough. And that's why it's coming through this way. They could be projecting their own beliefs about their own self onto you as if they are your thoughts and not theirs. And for some of you, I don't think this person sees that. For others of you, they might be aware of this pattern and they might want to heal this, because there seems to be some general awareness that there is something to heal within this person that they need to before they're able to step up. Essentially, they hope that you like them as much as they like you, remotely as much as they like you. But they seem to have no evidence, or even if they have evidence, they seem to discard it. Like they are like, okay, now I know, I'm confident, pile 2 likes me. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, but what if they don't? Which is a completely normal thought pattern to be in, especially if they have had experiences where others have made them feel like they're not enough. If they've been in a lot of situations that gave them the impression that what they're doing isn't enough, that they're not worthy enough for that situation. I feel like this is someone who's very wounded. And I think you've shown a lot of compassion towards them because they seem to really admire and appreciate how you carry yourself. There is an energy of looking up to you, and they see such a radiant light in you that they can't seem to see in themselves. But I think in some ways you are a mirror to this person. And it could be that connecting more with them, or through this connection they get to see their own light as well. This is almost giving me like the page here is looking at a mirror. We can't see it because of the perspective. But look at the sun that is coming through as well. And these stars. And this colorful rainbow. I think this person is very hard on themselves. Like if they make a mistake, or what they perceive as a mistake, I think they are very harsh and judgmental towards their own self, but towards others, I think they tend to be much nicer. This could be something you have as well, and maybe that's why I'm getting a mirroring energy. You could be experiencing similar thoughts and feelings. They can feel that you care about them, but it's almost like they can't accept it because no one, in their opinion, has cared for them like this, because I feel like they feel that they don't deserve this kind of caring energy, which is, it makes me really sad because I think they have so much potential that they are just not seeing. Let's get some channeled messages from this person. The first thing that came out is literally, I really admire you and I know it's for you, so I'm gonna take it. Because yes, they definitely do. I don't feel worthy, I'm not good enough. Yeah. I feel very connected to you. I need more time. Please try to understand my perspective. I took that one because I got stuck on my head somehow. So I felt like it wanted to come out. We have, I miss you so much. Maybe for some of you, you are at a distance to this person or they don't get to see you very often. I have faith in this situation. I don't know how you feel about me. Yeah. One more, please, universe. You are so important to me. I heard every part of you. Let's get you some advice. I'll get one card from this deck and then we'll get some more from the relationship affirmators. All right. A bunch of cards just like are being really strange. So I guess we're taking more than one. We have good things to come. There are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under wrapping paper, but they will show up when the time is just right, and that's when I'll remember how much fun it is to be surprised. We have don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it. I forgot where I put the other ones that came out. Was it the top or the bottom of the deck? All right, I guess, okay, there we go. I guess it was the bottom. Impermanence. Life is always changing and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity, non-entity. The don't take it personally message I think would be especially relevant in this situation if this person is acting hot and cold. That's not to say it's okay to what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. It's early in the morning. Please bear with me. But this one especially rings significantly to me right now for this situation. We have open-heartedness. I know that life and the people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I promise not to let unhappy chapters make me jaded. If I let negative experiences turn me sour, then the jerks win. So I'll move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because I hate losing to jerks. If this is your energy, I think these messages are even more significant. And with don't take it personally, one thing I want to mention is if you have been in this energy and you feel guilty for acting the way you did in a specific situation, maybe you got angry at someone or something, that is fine. I feel the need to give this reminder more and more on the channel, because in the spiritual community, it's often like recommended, I guess, that you are just this Zen being who is unaffected by everything, who is just detached from every situation and is just never really feeling any negative emotions, which is not possible. We're human. We're not Zen beings. We can be at times, but you can't always keep that up. You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to get mad. You're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be annoyed. You're allowed. So give yourself permission to feel everything that you need to feel. And don't judge yourself for what you're feeling. Your feelings don't define you anyway. But yes, and we also have loyalty. I'm there for the people I care about in whatever way they need me. Ride to the airport? No problem. Bail you out of jail? You bet. Go see your band again? Maybe. The point is, when I stand with them, I know I'm a part of something special. And to be honest, it doesn't suck to look around and remember they're standing with me too. I think this person is trying their best to be there for you as much as they can, but it also feels like now is a significant time for them to be there for their own self. Because it looks like they have quite a bit to work through. Also, bottom deck energy, I feel like taking my best self. I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all of my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. And yes, on that note, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile twos. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome to your reading. We are starting with these oracle cards, and we're looking into what the person on your mind thinks you feel about them. So this is their subjective opinion, so it might not be entirely true because we're looking into their subjective energy rather than trying to figure out how you actually feel, because you know how you feel, probably, maybe not, sometimes it's hard to tell, but we're just looking into their assumptions for now. Maybe we'll do a reading on how you feel as well. I don't know how that would go, but anyway, let's get into this reading now. So we have number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. We have the 7th house, Libra energy could be significant. We have lunar eclipse, Cancer energy could be significant as well. We have the fire ant. We have surrender, and we have disruption. I would be very surprised if you are in contact with this person or if you are in positive contact with them. They feel that you are triggered, possibly very angry at them. But at the same time, they feel that you have a soft spot for them. Like your feelings are still there. You may have had very deep feelings for this person, or at least they perceive you to have had very deep feelings for them, and that you still feel a very deep connection to them. But at the same time, it feels like they have messed up majorly. And they seem to be aware as well that they did something to mess this connection up. And there is an avoidant energy to them, almost like it's almost like They don't want to face you, because with this fire ant energy, this is a very angry energy. Fire ants just swarm, I assume. Haven't had an encounter with them yet, as far as I can remember, but one thing this card is making me think of is a concept called graceful degradation. This is a concept that's relevant for swarm intelligence. And it talks about how when one unit is damaged in this collective intelligence, the system doesn't immediately start dysfunctioning, but it can still sustain itself for a long time because the other units are working together and they're still doing their job, so they're able to make up for that lost unit, that lost agent in the system. And I am talking about this because it feels like they recognize that they've hurt you, but there is a recognition that they can't bring you down. Not to say that they necessarily tried to do this, but for some of you, it almost feels like war here. This isn't the case for everyone, I feel. And for some of you, this person might even blame the circumstances rather than their own self. But they recognize that you are mad at them, or they feel like you're mad at them, like pissed off, not even just mad, but pissed off. I'm getting suffocation, like the feeling of suffocation. They might feel a little bit suffocated by the intensity of how they perceive you feel about them, which is strange in a way, because I don't know if they have a fully objective perception, or like a perception of how you feel based in reality. Maybe the anger part is very obvious. You may have told them, or they may have done something where the natural reaction would be anger or a feeling of betrayal. It feels like with this lunar eclipse energy, like they were sneaky or shady in some way, like they did something messed up, like they disappeared in the middle of the night, or it's kind of giving me that kind of energy. For some of you, you could have been married to this person, or you could have something that ties you together, even if you're not emotionally tied together. And it almost feels like the main thing I'm getting is just anger. But then again, there is that feeling of this person feeling like you have a soft spot for them. And that can be very frustrating to hear as well, especially if that's not how you feel. But also, I feel called to remind you that if someone chooses to believe that to be true, even if it's like so obviously not true, if they kind of decide to believe in an illusion, there's nothing you can do about that, really. Because if they want to believe that, what can you do? You can't just be like, no, you're wrong. Even if you say that, they can just be like, la la la, I don't hear you. It almost feels like they've narrated this story in a specific way in their head and they refuse to believe otherwise. I don't want to label or diagnose anyone, especially not in a general reading setting. But for some of you, this person could have had narcissistic tendencies. Take that as it resonates. I really don't want to just like label however many people, and also I'm not a clinical psychologist, so let's get some tarot. For some of you, I get the feeling that you do really care about this person regardless of how they may have made you feel. And I feel called to remind you that there is no shame in loving someone who has hurt you. It's not your fault that things turned out that way, and it's not your fault that you can't suddenly undo your feelings. You don't have to undo them. But it's more so about seeing the situation for what it is, and sometimes doing the hard thing of distancing yourself from someone or letting someone go because you know you deserve better. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Two of Cups. Yeah, they definitely feel that you still feel a deep connection to them. And if they were to come forward, if they were to be crystal clear and take responsibility for what happened, or take responsibility for this connection, then you would maybe be open to giving them another chance or being with them. But for most of you, I feel like this person's actually lost their chance with you. What happened here will be different for every situation. I don't want to specify too much on that because it does feel like it could be ranging from this person like ghosting you in the talking stage to this being a long-term relationship and this person just leaving without so much as an explanation. We have the Chariot in reverse, but I feel like they've put you through a lot of negative emotions and a lot of pain that you didn't deserve to be put through. We have the Page of Wands. This for me confirms that they feel that you're still attracted to them or into them, or that you would still be open to pursuing an intimate connection with them. I'm very sorry I had to stop filming for a second. I suddenly started coughing. I'm not actually sick or anything, but I was just thinking how it feels like this person feels like you think that they lost their way. That's what's coming through. And with my throat kind of getting stuck, it was a very strange feeling. Like it just felt like it closed up for a second. And to me, that is telling me that the throat chakra in this person could be very blocked, or there could have been a lot of dishonest communication or unhealthy communication. Just communication based in an illusion on their end for some of you as well. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Three of Cups in reverse, and we have Judgment. It feels like they're refusing to see entirely where they may have gone wrong. I think they have an understanding of this, but then again, they seem to not recognize the true heaviness of how they may have made you feel. It almost feels like they feel like they would be able to make up for it, even if that's not the case. You might be someone who's very forgiving, and this might be someone who is not beyond taking advantage of that. And I think they really have a lot of trouble with self-expression. I don't think I've ever had such a strong throat kind of blockage, closing off thing in a reading. Let's get you some channeled messages from this person. They also might feel that you distract yourself from them. Like if you have moved on into another connection, for example, they might feel that it's just you distracting yourself from them, from your feelings for them. We have, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I don't feel the same. I think they're projecting their own behaviors and feelings onto you, for most of you, if I'm being honest, because their emotional body feels very repressed. We have, I still dream of having you by my side. But I think a part of them knows that they would either need to work very hard, or they can't really salvage this connection from this point on. I need some space from this situation. I'm hiding behind a mask. I don't know how you feel about me. Because it feels like they're not basing their entire perception on facts that they've observed. Did I say observed? I meant observed. I'm sorry, I know I hurt you. I'm waiting for you to make a move. And there's one that flew away. Oh, here it is. I don't know what your intentions are. It's like they're waiting and observing rather than taking actual action here. And it feels like then they would decide how they feel about what you might want to do. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this, but let's get you some advice. Worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it, and damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee again, because my throat is still not feeling that great. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else. And then I'll run away very quickly. I think the most important thing for you to do is to prioritize yourself and your feelings in this situation. And to make sure that you're not giving too much to a situation that doesn't give you much back. Don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it. This is a reminder to not let this person's actions define you or their thoughts, and whatever they may have said, these things don't define you. What you do and what you believe defines you rather than what other people think. And I think that's especially important to remember in this situation. Authenticity. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it, but at least they know it because I've said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive-aggressive note about it. Yes, expressing how you feel is important, but you don't ever have to sit and convince people about who you are, what you believe. Your actions already show that, and it's on them if they don't see it. You've already done all you can. And on that note, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile, so if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I am sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye.